As most of you know by now, in an interview with Time magazine, Nintendo President Tatsumi Kimishima was asked about a 3DS successor and responded with this. The successor of the 3DS is not the worst that Nintendo handhelds. I would have called that a quote, but, it was a translation. Anyway, I don't think it means Nintendo's gonna make one just because he didn't rule it out as a possibility sometime in the future. What I took it as is, well, maybe if the Switch does really well and we get greedy, there'll be a 3DS successor. Or maybe even, well, maybe if the Switch does horribly, we might get desperate and make a 3DS successor. But whether or not they will do it, which I don't think they will, I thought it'd be fun to talk about the pros and cons of a new 3DS. And that got me thinking about the good idea, bad idea skits from Animaniacs, so I figured, hey, let's just rip it right off and call it an homage. So let's begin ripping a 20-year-old cartoon off by explaining why a newerest 3DS is both a good idea and bad idea. Good idea. Man, we can't even get our own animation. The Switch may be portable, but it's not exactly something that'd casually fit in your pocket, not to mention without the screen being damaged. And the battery life isn't exactly something Nintendo should brag about. The new 3DS, I hate calling it that, was so perfect to carry around airports and just felt so right and comfortable in your hands. I've yet to play a Nintendo Switch, but there's no way that's going to be as convenient to carry around airports or even just in your car. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't look bad. Airplanes usually have outlets, and having a car charger isn't that big of a deal if you really game portably that much. But come on, the 3DS was literally made for this. And I will miss that level of comfort, so a successor would be good for at least that. And besides, I liked having two screens for things like maps and inventory. And when done minimally and appropriately, touch controls were great for quickly selecting items and things of that nature. I never really cared for the mic though. Blowing balloons in Mario Kart made me lightheaded, and forgetting to turn the chat off for online Pokemon battles was the worst. Not to mention that bullshit-ass flute from Spirit Tracks that didn't work half the time. And what about the 3D and all that research and development Nintendo went through to get the face tracking technology for it? It actually works really well and it's pretty cool, albeit a little gimmicky. Even though I almost never ever use the 3D, I still liked having it as an option. So it's worth noting that that's one feature the Switch won't have. And that's why a successor to the 3DS is a good idea. Bad idea. If Nintendo releases a new portable, it'll kill most of the appeal for the Switch, even if they do it a couple years down the line. I still think the main reason the Wii U failed was because the 3DS was cheaper, portable, and had way more first-party games, especially when the Wii U launched with nothing besides Nintendo Land and an unfinished Zombie U. Anyway, I've said this a million times before, but in this era, graphics are fine on pretty much any device. And everybody that wants to play Nintendo games, stop caring so much about the graphics after the GameCube when the visuals cross the threshold of everything looking fine. So if all of Nintendo's games will be on one console going forward, then fans won't have to opt for the cheaper of the two options. I mean, the whole point is that there's only going to be one option. And it'll be both portable and a home console, so it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal. This is why I don't understand some people being mad about the $300 price. I think that's pretty fair considering Nintendo expected fans to pay $350 for a Wii U and $170 for a 3DS just to play all their games. Of course the average person would choose the cheaper of the two options when the quality of the games is almost the same. Plus, now the development won't have to be divided up between two different consoles. Just imagine if the Wii U had all the games the 3DS did in addition to its own. That's what it looks like we'll be getting with the Switch. The 3DS had plenty of third-party support because it had plenty of first-party games which made people buy the system. And for most people who already owned a 3DS, the Wii U wasn't worth spending an extra $350 on. They figured they might as well buy a PS4 and get something completely different instead of more of the same. And do I even need to remind people that want a 3DS successor that would mean that there'd be no home console Pokemon game? To be fair though, there is still the issue of the 3DS still being more comfortable to carry around, but a good solution to this problem that my good friend Shane thought of would be to make a portable-only Switch down the line that'd be, well, more portable. Maybe have a clamshell design and better battery life. That way the development for games won't have to be split up again. And maybe they'd sell more Switches to families with multiple kids so they don't have to share on vacations. But how do you feel about this? Do you think Nintendo making an exclusively handheld portable console is a good idea or a bad idea? Click on the left side of the screen in the box that's clearly marked good idea if you think it's a good idea and, well, alright, I think you understand the premise of what I'm saying here. But vote away and check back next time for the results. And if you have any idea for future good idea, bad ideas, then leave a comment down below. Or just say what's up. Tell me you want to fight me. I'll cry. That's it.